Rachel, I'm going to make just a short video of just some basic things that you need to know. Once you know these little things, you're good. It's kind of like when you get in a car. If you know how to turn the key and use the brake and use the gas, you're good to go. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I'm using a Mac. It really doesn't matter if you're using a Mac or a PC because it's the same. And when you get this screen here, like it's a blank screen, you can see there's no canvas. There's no white square. So like a lot of kids get confused. They're like, wait, what do I do? What do I do? So you go to File, New, and that's where you're going to create your canvas. Now, you name it, give it a name. The standard is, so when you go to preset, you have custom, film and video, mobile devices, web, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to choose, well, it really doesn't matter. You can do default, which is like 5x7, or you could do, I'm going to do custom. That's typically what I do. And I lost, hold on a second. Oh, web. Sorry, web is what I'm going to use. And this is 800 by 600. You can make it bigger, smaller. I'll make it, like a medium size. And I hit OK. And then you can see that you have your canvas. Now, mine, for whatever reason, has these lines. Not a big deal. I don't know why it does that, but what you do is you go to View, you uncheck Extras, and the lines are gone. Okay. Now, so that's how to start it. Now, when you start, you've got to have your tools up, and this is what I teach my kids. Under Window, there are 3 things that you always, always, always want to have. History, make sure it's checked. Layers, make sure it's checked. And Tools. Not tool presets, but tools, okay? So just like religiously when you open up Photoshop, Window, make sure your history's up, make sure your layers are up, make sure your tools are up. If other stuff is open, that's fine. This is the tools, okay? So when you check tools, this is what you want to see. The layers, here are the layers, and the history. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you want to see. You might have more open, but these are the 3. Tools, layers, history. Okay? Now, for your layers, it starts with my background layer, and this is locked. And don't worry about it. I'm just going to make a new layer. So I go to Layer, New, Layer. Okay, and you can name it. Naming it is helpful because if you have like 10 different layers, you're going to want to know, which is which. So I'm going to leave it as layer 1, but you could name it. You could name it, dog or cat or whatever, and you hit OK. Now, on my layer, I'm going to put a picture. So if I go to Google Images and I type in beach, okay, beach. And here are my pictures of beach. Okay, now you want the picture that you're using to be the largest quality, so it's not blurry. So you click on it and it's nice and big, and then I'm going to drag this to the desktop. Okay, it didn't drag. Sometimes they don't drag. So if that happens, you can, on a Mac, you can hit Control, hold on a second, I can't do it holding the phone. So what you can do is, I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to do a Command click. No, Control click, I think. Control click, and then I'm going to save the image as. Okay, and there's my image. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it beach. And I'm going to save it on my desktop, and it's going to save as a JPEG. So that's what I want. Okay. So now my beach should be on my desktop. There it is. Okay. So now I'm going to drag the beach picture onto my canvas. Okay, so it's right here on my desktop. I'm going to drag it on. I'm going to let go. Now, what I teach my kids is when you have the X means it's an edit mode. It means you can make it bigger. It means you can turn it around. It means that you can grab an end and flip it. So as long as that X is there, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to fit this beach completely on my canvas by stretching out using the corners. Once you're done with it and you're happy with how it looks, that X needs to go away. And the way you make that X go away is either hit the check mark on the top, or you can click on the picture, hit enter, and there it goes. Okay? Now, if I want to put Mickey Mouse on the beach, so if you look here at my layers, you can see I have my beach layer. I named it beach. Background layer is nothing. I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to go to layer, new layer, and this layer, I'm going to name it Mickey Mouse. Okay? And it's because I'm going to put Mickey, I'm going to call it Mickey. I'm going to put Mickey Mouse on the beach. Okay? So again, you look at my layers, I've got the beach layer, and now I'm on the Mickey Mouse layer. So I'm going to go back to Google. And this time, I'm going to Google Mickey Mouse. M-I-C-K-E, Mickey Mouse. And I don't know why it's there, Mickey Mouse. Okay, so now I'm going to find a picture of Mickey. I'm going to click on the picture to make it big. I'm going to drag and drop it. If it doesn't drag and drop, you can control click. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it on. And there's Mickey. Now, again, you see the X. Okay, the X means I can edit it. I can make him bigger. I can make him smaller. I can, pretty much do what I want. I'm going to click, make the X go away. And then I'm going to use the eraser. And when you get this message, the smart object must be rasterized, blah, blah, blah. Just hit OK. And then you can see I can erase. Now, the eraser size is here. I can make it smaller. I can do a hard brush or a soft brush, and I can erase. Now, if you want to erase professionally, you go to the magic wand, okay? And with the magic wand, you click, and it's going to highlight everything that's the same color. And when you do the magic wand, you have a tolerance level. The lower the tolerance, the more sensitive the magic wand is. So if I were to make this, let's say instead of 15, I were to make it 80, okay? It doesn't outline the white. Why? Because it's a huge number, and so it's not a very sensitive tool. So if I take my tolerance, that's how you play with your tolerance. I'm going to put it back to 15. Okay, 15. And then I'm going to try it again. And then you can see it's much more sensitive. Now, if you try and hit the delete key and it doesn't delete, it did delete, but sometimes it doesn't. What you want to do, come on. Okay, sometimes when you hit delete, it gives you an error message. If that happens, just go to the eraser, erase a little piece of it, and then on your keyboard, hit the delete key, and it's gone. Now, here's the important thing with the magic wand. The magic wand is still on, and the reason I know it's still on is because there are moving ants. Those are the moving dots. So if I were now, let's say, to go to my eraser and try to erase Mickey's surfboard, it doesn't work. And the reason that the magic wand does not work is because, the reason the eraser doesn't work is because the magic wand is on. So what I need to do, and this is like a point where kids get really confused, to shut the magic wand off, I click on it, and then I click until there's no more marching ants. And then I can go to my eraser and I can erase if I want, okay? Now notice that the beach doesn't erase, and the beach doesn't erase because I'm on Mickey Mouse layer. If I were to select the beach layer, and then again you get that rasterize, okay. Now that I'm on the beach layer, this will erase. But Mickey won't erase. Why? Because I'm not on Mickey. I'm on the beach. Now, the reason you want your history open, like I said at the beginning, is because your history bar has record of every single thing that you've done. Okay? So if I say, oops, I want to undo that, I can go back to my last step. Every time you click, it's recorded. So this is like every click that I made, and now I'm going back. So that history tool is super important because if you make a mistake, you can go back. Okay? Now, everything that I just showed you is the basics of what you need. My marching ants are on, so I go to my magic wand, I shut it off. Okay, if I wanted to add, let's say something like Minnie Mouse, again, I will repeat, layer, new layer. Okay, this one I'm going to call Minnie. Okay, and now if you look at my layers, now I'm on the Minnie layer. And then I would do the same thing I did with the beach, the same thing that I did with Mickey Mouse. Okay, and now